Good morning, everybody. Welcome to another YNAB Whiteboard Wednesday. My name is Jesse Meekum. I'm the founder of YouNeedABudget.com. Today we're going to discuss how to balance your accounts with your budget and keep those in balance. So to do so, I want to discuss a very simple, or give a little simple demonstration to kind of walk us through how this works. On this side, we're going to track a single account. On this side, we're going to track our budget, and we're going to do so simultaneously to see how they consistently can stay in sync with each other. The formula that we're going to be looking for to make sure that your accounts always equal your budget is that the sum of your budgeted or your on-budget account balances, those will equal, on the budget side, your total category balance, so money that's unspent in your categories, plus the available to budget that you may have actually down in the footer left available to flow into the next month, plus income that you've marked as available for next month. So we'll go through that separately, but that's the formula. So category balances plus available plus income for next month. All three of those equal the sum of your on-budget accounts. So pretending we just have, let's say, a checking account, and we get a deposit of $120. So we're going to say plus 120, and then we automatically will categorize that. That means whenever you categorize something, you're crossing that budget threshold. We talked about that in a prior Whiteboard Wednesday, how the categories dictate whether something is on or off budget, whether it's affecting the budget. So we'll categorize that, meaning the money is crossing the budget threshold and is now contained in that budget. So when you have that 120 and we categorize it as income available this month, okay, it's immediately available. And so in the budget, we'll have plus 120 because we're calling that available, right? So they're still in balance. Then on the account side, we don't really do anything for a while, but on the budget side, let's say we want to budget some of that money. So we're going to take some of this out. Let's say we want to budget, I think I took some, let's say we budget $40. So we'll take it out of available. So now we have 80 available. Okay. But we also have a category balance now of 40. So that 40, we just moved it. A lot easier to show you in the software, but we're sticking to our whiteboard idea. So 80 is now available. The 40 we took out of available, we put to a category. So that's available to spend in a category. So we're back to 120. And of course, 120 is still equaling 120, and we're okay. If we budget to another category, we can do the same thing. We can pull out, let's see, what did I have here? Pull out 60. Okay. So we are left with, in our budget, for just a second, 60, but then that category got 60, right? So we're back to 120. I'm just showing you how it moves. In the software, you're just typing in the numbers. They're immediately just switching places, okay, from available into a category. So we're back to 120, still balanced with the accounts at 120. Now we have a transaction that actually affects the account balance and the budget, because what we're doing is we're categorizing that outflow, and that means that the money that's going out crosses that budget threshold again, this time in the opposite direction, so it's leaving. So we spend some money on this category B. We got category A. We spent some money in category B, and let's say it's $80. Okay. That means we have $40 left in our account balance for on-budget accounts. So that $80 we categorize as category B. So on this side, when we've actually spent the money, category B only had $60 in it. So what we're looking at now is we've actually removed 80 from the equation. So we categorized from category B, we're taking 80 away from the budget. Okay, so what this leaves us is 40 again, right? And that's the just the same math over and over again. Even though we had in there 60, we spent 80, we overspent. It doesn't matter because that category balance captures positive balances that are remaining and captures overspending and lumps it all together, saying how much do you really have in your budget? This is how much you have. Rule 4, if it's working, obviously you take those overages and you reduce your next month's available or your next month's buffer and to replenish those category balances that need to have those surpluses in them. But this is it, so still 40 equals 40, right? And so you have to ask yourself, on the budget side, this is kind of confusing, so where exactly do we have money still sitting? Okay, so I'm going to erase our accounts and just show you this one part. On the budget, let's go from the beginning again. Okay, we had available at the beginning of 120, and then we moved some to category A, we moved 40. So that meant that available had 80, category A had 40. Okay, so this equals 120, equals 120, it still stays the same. And then we budgeted 60 to category B. So we take away 60 from here, that gets us to 20 available, and 60 in here. You see we're just moving the numbers around. 60 and 20, we still had the 40 in category A. So we've got 100 plus 20, still 120. And then we actually spend money, and that's where it just gets a little bit different, but it's still okay. We leave the 20 in available. Let's say we're pushing that to next month to be part of next month's buffer. We didn't spend anything in category A, but we spent 80 out of category B, leaving us with an overage of 20. So 20 plus 40 minus 20 equals 40. And on our account side, remember we started out with 120, we had that transaction for 80, and we end up with 40, 40 equaling 40. So that is the formula that you want to just memorize, and we'll figure out some way in the software where we can kind of make those mesh. It's something we're working through and we'll continue to work through to see if we can get it right. So when you're balancing your on-budget accounts, the sum of the on-budget accounts equals your category balances plus any available you have, either at the top or at the bottom. You can look at either number. They're the same number. I like to look at the bottom, just kind of all those numbers are down there in that footer area that you need to look at. So in the footer of the software, you'll have your category balances right there, and then you'll have your income that's still, or your available that's still there that will be part of your buffer flowing into next month, plus you'll have your income for next month that is part of your buffer as well. That's rule 1. So those all together will equal the sum of your on-budget accounts. Remember to recognize the difference between an on-budget and an off-budget account. On-budget accounts always will have their starting balances categorized. Off-budget accounts will never have any transactions categorized at all because they've never crossed into that budget threshold. Categories are the gatekeepers for the budget. When you categorize, you're letting money come in, and when it leaves, you're categorizing, you're letting money go out. Without a category, it does not ever cross into that budget threshold. So when you have that clear, this account's on budget, this account's off budget, then you can easily just say, okay, here are my on budget accounts, and there's my formula, and are we equal? If you're not equal, you'll want to look at either categorizing a transaction that wouldn't or shouldn't have been categorized, or forgetting to categorize one that should have. And again, I hope to have the software a little smarter in the future so we can do a little preventative maintenance on that and not have it happen so often for some of you. Anyway, that's Whiteboard Wednesday, balancing on and off budget accounts. Thanks for sharing YNAB with your friends. Keep telling them about it. I talked to the lady yesterday at Good Earth about it because I was entering a transaction on my phone. The phone app is doing well. We're still in alpha, but very, very close to beta. So if you're interested in possibly helping us on the beta, you can, in the footer of the homepage, there's a little link that says YNAB plus iPhone. Click on that, and then there will be a little sign-up form. Sign up there, and we will be considering people for the beta. Not a big beta, fairly small, but anyway, that's the best and only way to become a beta tester for the iPhone app. Thanks, guys, and we'll see you next week.